So Hunter versus Deuce. You want to do the introductions, Delta?
Yeah. So down in the right corner, we have the blue Night Elf, Hunter! And up here on the left corner, we have the purple of all colors, yes, Justin, of the undead, Deuce.
I can see how you've been. You're casting away boxing or wrestling?
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
A little bit earlier,
So you can see like you're coming from the left corner. Like, man, you got that pump into that.
Yeah,
I really like that. Nice spice.
I couldn't really go into weight classes and stuff like that because maybe that's irrelevant, but it's a fun thing to see here. So
you got the Ancient of War already being put down quite next to the next camp. I mean, the first camp, pretty much. So that's already a very basic way to go on the Night Elf. Just get that close as possible as you can, and by the time it's ready and you get it uprooted, you're probably gonna have your hero up and running and just go straight for the camp. Or do you want to go for that early harass instead? Like, you can see usually that one Wisp going for a little scout ahead, and actually both players are going for their scouts. You see the Acolyte looking around. There's a nice little critter sheep. Oh, don't kill the sheep. Come on, that's bad-mannered. Well, I mean, you gotta have corpses when you're playing undead, so.
Yeah, like both the players are starting in like a fairly normal start here, getting their heroes out. We see Deuce here trying to get out his Death Knight, which is a powerful unit here, while on the other side we have the more standard Keeper of the Grove, which has been like a really standard pick here for the Night Elf as their main hero to go over with. You see here now though, Hunter finds Deuce up in the purple corner. Like this is a cross-map position, and that was one of the problems that HTRT had last game as well, because it was a cross-map position and the timings were off. And let's see if they can capitalize better on this cross-map position than the last game here.
Yeah, travel distances are definitely something you have to take into account. And he's already got his Ancient of War, taking tank to the front line, got an Archer as well. There's the Keeper as well now joining into the fight. Get that early XP. We'll see what kind of drops they get here as the first Ogre falls. And what did he actually pick up? Gloves of Haste. So yeah, that's not necessarily the best for your Keeper, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's 15% attack speed, which is 15% extra damage, just pushing up more damage, making you able to creep a little bit faster.
It's good for the harass. I'm just wondering, like, does he want to go straight aggressive with the Keeper, harass the workers with it, or do you just want to focus on more building on those camps and maybe looking for that expansion pretty early on, or what kind of gameplay style are you kind of expecting Hunter to make him?
I think from Hunter's perspective, like at least how he's managing the early game here now is trying to get like a good like level lead with his Keeper of the Grove, get the spells going and everything like that, but just by creeping. You also get a little bit of gold, you get open up the map a little bit so you have more vision control, and you also
see the first kill coming in as well. The Acolyte rooted to the ground, just right click to death by the Keeper. That's a bit of extra. And here we see the DK sniping with a miscoil.
Basically revenge for his dead Acolyte. So here now though, it might be a little engagement there, no, but he is fast, this guy on the horse here, the Undead Knight, with his aura, unholy aura basically. So he runs around a little bit to just scout out the full out game here.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, is he gonna actually respond to this? Like, you can see he does have a big set of ghouls making their way towards the DK. So right now he's actually kiting around the archers with the Keeper. And now he finally reveals that there's one or two ghouls. Can he see more of them? There's a big bunch of those undead guys just trying to go for a little ambush move. But as he said about the timings, they have to be on point.
Yeah. Like we saw it quickly, this was like really a good bait setup here, just trying to get those ghouls around and just like, well, I don't want to lose my hero, but basically, we come from the backstab here. But Hunter called it out really early and managed to avoid getting into that icky situation here.
Yeah, you don't want to get too many casualties at the start because Undead is very strong, especially with these ghouls right on. And you might actually see a first engagement here. The Skeletons are going for the expansion Tree of Life there. And with a few Skeletons, they do get purged away. So there's the Dispel Magic being used, and the Ghoul's set on the run. He's going to hold on to that expansion without actually losing anything at this point. So his Tree of Life is fine. So his Tree of Life is completely fine there. He's already going for his tier 2 upgrade by the looks of as well. Hunter's Hall making his way too.
A player's forces.
Yeah, so we're going to see the tech coming in fairly soon.
Yeah, the last game we saw was really low tech from the Hunter's perspective, but this one is looking like he wants to go for a heavier macro strategy where he goes for more more tech units, higher. Maybe you actually see like something like chimeras or something popping up, which would be really cool to see the end game of these builds.
That is in the graveyard just about to be ready, so
maybe we will see the Necromancer.
maybe we will. There's a Lich making his way to the arena, at least. So that's the second hero for Deuce.
Yeah, and that's a pretty fairly standard composition here with the Unholy Knight and the Necromancers. You have some AoE damage, you have some tankiness, you have some healing, you have a little bit of everything, basically.
Yeah. But it's also very underrated by many people, the slow. The importance of having a slow, being able to body block with these fast units, because you've got the DK aura, and if you can manage to like body block, maybe even get like a good entrapment movement, get a couple hits in as well, that is really efficient, and kind of looking like a little duel over the null camp here with a big bunch of archers. And yep, he seems to be getting all of them for himself here on the Night Elf side, so DK, I mean, I'm not even sure if he's just like trying to soak XP here.
Ooh, here we see an Alchemist coming out though from Hunter here. Even though Alchemist just been nerfed quite a bit, they're still picking up there because it's a usual thing to have in your composition as a Night Elf, and just falling back to the standard things, even though there's been differences in stats and differences in cooldowns and everything, might just be safe.
Yep.
Seeing here now that the base is building up, he's taking up, building a slaughterhouse here.
Yep.
Along with a couple of more cigarettes to just get this.
It's a very basic Crypt Fiend, systematic undead playing right now. Nothing too special about that there.
Yeah, just trying to get everything.
He's trying to scout out here with. I mean, this is currently just. He's trying to follow basically what our hunters move with this big bunch of archers, and this Alchemist brought up as well. You got the Lich and the DK just following around, and actually getting a nice amount of damage. Might be able to take down that archer, but he does manage to get away with 41 health. So at least still for now, no Night Elf casualties. DK forced to back up a bit, and they've actually scrambled right in the middle of all those archers. They managed to take down one, but are they going to lose more or not? The skeleton's falling down. The DK still unable to take a full commitment to this fight. Not actually able to use his Mist Coils. He's fairly low on mana as well, and saving his Tree of Life as well, which was also being. Well, he's using to take the mine at the same time as fighting with the Knolls. So that is a how many expansions does he already have at this point? Like 3?
Oh, yes, yes, 2 expansions.
So that's the second one, yeah.
Yeah. This is the second expansion. He was building a Tree of Life earlier, but that got cancelled, and this is the new one, I think.
Yeah.
But this seems like, well, now the undead player knows now that your opponent is building up for a second expansion, getting that gold income, getting that, basically doubling your gold income. The wood income is basically based on units, but the gold is capped on how many mines you own. And for the undead's perspective, it's like the longer this goes on, the further behind you fall, because gold is a crucial component to upgrades, it's a crucial component to getting those units out, and also when you have an extra gold mine, there's not that much of a danger of actually going down to low upkeep or mid upkeep, which means that well you're in big trouble for the undead. Yeah,
I feel like Hunter is actually doing like really good moves here with the tier 3 coming up as well, having his expansions, having a very steady amount of supply, and also gold and wood coming in. So he's feeling fairly confident right now with just following where is Deuce going to be making his moves with his undead army. Like, he's got a lot of ghouls now, again intercepting the archers. He can't really get any body blocks out there. Maybe isolate one of the archers. He does find one, quickly blown up by the Lich. A very good move there to find at least something, but not the best engagement necessarily for Deuce. Still, a minor skirmish is always a victory.
Yeah. Every win every small victory is a small step towards the big victory.
So. Yep. And with that, he manages to take down the expansion as well here. The Wisps being released, trying to heal up, but is there going to be any response coming in? There we go. We've got the archers coming in with the Alchemist, but the Alchemist, I mean, they're just trying to force away, and he's actually able to hold his Tree of Life alive with all those Wisps healing and just not getting enough damage output in, and he's actually taking a lot of damage here, both on the Alchemist and the DK. I mean, the Alchemist gets TP'd out, but there's still plenty amount of archers. You also see the...
You see the obelisk statues, the obsidian statues is he's doing their best, like, first of all, they're
yeah, and this bear is just being used as a sacrifice pretty much here. Like, he's just trying to hold them back, but he just can't get enough damage out. The Alchemist joins into the fight as well, and the ghouls are dropping really, really low on their health pools, but they just they managed to take down the bear and the Transcend. They've also got the Crypt Fiend stuck in the middle of the battle. The Crypt Fiend just falls instantly, and the fight is just fully brewing off here. More Crypt Fiends are being brought into the fight, and a little disengagement there. So both sides getting something there.
And getting back to this Tree of Life, though, always keeping up the pressure. This means that Hunter needs to... Yeah, he has invested a lot in this Tree of Life. Like, repairing costs wood and money. He has built it, which costs a lot of wood and money. So he needs to have a feeling to protect it. And this is an excellent pressure move here from Deuce.
It is, and keeping the Night Elves away from this. And he's probably going to make it all the way. I mean, there's another hunting party on its way by Hunter, so let's see if he's still able to hold this for a second time in a row. Like, they are dropping low on the undead side, but they do have plenty of heals around. They're actually forced to back away for now. Maybe regroup, maybe do another of those ambush setups, but he doesn't have a huge amount of force, like 46 supply. It's alright.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it's there's meaty supply here though. Crypt Fiends, Obsidian statues, a couple of ghouls. He has the opportunity to summon a few skeletons as well. So he has like making a front line and having the DPS to back up this front line. And now basically trying to bait the opponent into over-engaging into this Tree of Life because, well, you need to answer it.
Yeah. Trying to send in more wisps as well, but a very good initiation once again coming in, like just holding this harass, like forcing them to change targets, and just now he's just sending the wisps in again and trying to heal up the Tree of Life and just causing this back and forth, like constant movement here. Like, he's trading hits, okay, but he's buying more time, and what is going to be the result of this entire battle here is going to be a really surprising part. They're going to lose the Trance in the front line, but he can always bring out more of those tree men to help out. Now the bear is going for a little initiation here, but he does manage to get that Cryptomine in the back lines. He's got a couple debuffs on him though. Might actually just make it out. It's dropped really low though, so he can't fully initiate. One of the bears dropping low too as well, and the archers are just getting demolished there in the front line by the ghouls. And another bear now in trouble as well. Can he manage to get it out? He doesn't. The miscoil snipe. He gets it and makes sure that Hunter is suffering right now, but he's still focusing on taking down this expansion. He's really struggling with it because he is, of course, he is dealing damage and making moves happen, but at the same time, can Hunter respond to this constant aggression?
Yeah, Hunter on his field is basically, well, he is safe in his main base, just mining and getting the gold and the wood that he needs. But the problem is this expansion is barely worth the cost of just trying to defend it all the time. But for Deuce's side, though, if he overcommits into this Tree of Life and doesn't really respect this, he can, because there's very few ways out of this position here, and if he gets cornered, he can really struggle and just die.
Yeah. Same back and forth movement has been going on the whole time, just sending in trends, keep the harass up while holding the Tree of Life alive. And again, another bear sentence in the front and might actually get picked off, but it gets TP'd back home quickly, so it will save him for now. But trying to go into these statues, he manages to take down one of the Crypt Fiends at least. And these statues, they aren't that durable, so you got to keep them off the front line. And he manages to hold them up for now, but then again, running really low on mana too. So he's got to have to make a move soon, like with this HP regen being diminished by a bit. But they're looking for more archers, and Hunter is on the run, and he's trying to make it completely out of there. And it's not looking too great, but then again, he does manage to get out from the initial fight. And then, what is Deuce going to do next?
Yeah, Deuce doesn't... like, the fight is... like, the unit composition that Deuce has is probably a little bit favored for Deuce's side. Like, the size of the army and everything. But fighting a Night Elf with Moonwells in place is super risky, because basically that means...
Suicide mission.
Yeah, it's a suicide mission. The heroes have unlimited mana, the bear can keep on healing and healing and healing, so you never actually manage to kill it. So they need to... he needs to force them out and just pick off units like he's been doing. And if he kills all the archers, these Obsidian, as a flying unit, would just feel very safe, because it's very little stuff that you can target there. You can use the Keeper of the Grove, but that's about it.
Yep. And you're coming right in the back. He had those skeletons from in the front to just scout out what is Hunter doing right now. The bear already going into the front. Another TP force now. And is it actually going to be going in Hunter's favor? He's got a huge, massive force here, but he needs to find the openings here. He's almost losing that bear, but he manages to get it out just in time. The Hunter, there's another archer falling down as well, and they are causing casualties on both sides. But who's going to pull it off in the end? Deuce is actually getting almost cornered. The Lich is stuck in between units, and he needs to find a way out of there. He's going to have to sacrifice one of the statues just to get the Lich out of the fray. And it looks like a first big victory here for Hunter, but the fight is still going on. There's a tome also on the ground, nobody picking it up just quite yet. And then there's the DK, and he's rooted on the spot, but they don't quite finish him off there. Another Crypt Fiend really low, just like one hit away from getting the Alchemist. Is trying to hunt him down, and he gets the Crypt Fiend down as well. And they're really forced out here. So Deuce, he doesn't have any backup really arriving into this battle, and it looks like he's like forced to go all the way on this. Like, this is not looking too great for him because his economy is running really low, and he's just trying to get these miscalls out constantly. And he does have that one statue at the back providing support here, but they are forced to TP out, and actually has to do a little maneuvers here not to lose that statue too. But Hunter is proving to be the stronger one in this battle.
Yeah, and then this really solidifies what I said. Like, the early push from Deuce was right on time because you knew that your opponent had an expansion, meaning he has less resources invested in his army. But since the push didn't manage to actually force him to, or either kill the Tree of Life or just force him to just abandon it, he managed to build up the army on the stronger economy. And now with the extra few bears and a lot of supply of archers.
Extra few beers, I like that.
Yeah. Just coming in, it's really hard for Deuce to punch through everything here. So he goes back to a little bit of creeping here now as well.
Yeah.
Gets some new items, gets a few levels.
We also see a little move coming here from the bottom side of the map. The Night Elves just playing really carefully here because he doesn't know if he's going to like run into Deuce's main army or not. And this, like, they're just moving in these like one big bunch of like units. We're not seeing like these spreaded movements because, I mean, on Hunter's side, you either go like find the main force or go straight into the base, which looks like he might actually do, while Deuce is trying to look for another opening into the expansion, maybe even go forward and see if there's going to be any response. Is he going to trade the Tree of Life for this? Because now they just realize that there doesn't seem to be anybody holding in the base here, and now Deuce gets the information as well. Like, we're going to try and do, okay, they're forcing the TP out, and they are buffing themselves up for the battle to come, and the TP comes in and forcing Deuce on the run for now, and just trying to find themselves some favorable ground. But the DK is in trouble!
Oh,
the DK goes down just like that. They do manage to lose one of the bears at least, but Deuce is in trouble. You lost the aura, and that's it. GG. Well played. Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That perfect timing with the TP there, buffing up right before, so you have the longest possible buff, and just having, because you haven't seen the full army scope yet from Deuce's side. He was just sitting there, well, how much of an army is it? And I can hold out a little bit longer, try to harass this Tree of Life even more. And then when he sees it, he just instantly retreat. And then it's a perfect route onto the DK, and then, yeah, it just falls apart.
That was crazy, like a Hunter being able to survive the early harass and kind of keep the back and forth movement, keeping the Tree of Life alive, the micro movement with all the wisps coming back into heal, back into